Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to Authentically Yours, Patricia. And if you're new here, my channel is Authentically Yours, Patricia. And the whole premise for this channel, like I've been saying, but if you're new, I'll say it again, is for those of us who are navigating through our backstory. And what that means is we have a vision for our lives of where we want to be and where we believe we're called to be, but our current situation doesn't match it. Our current situation could be mounds of debt, late on paying bills, anxiety about housing and how that's going to get paid. That can be our current situation, AKA our backstory, because we're working our way towards the other side to get to the place where we're trying to be. So that's the premise of this channel, me putting myself out there on social media and sharing openly, transparently, authentically about what's really going on in my life. Not that anything's wrong with what others are doing. I'm just trying to encourage others who could be in this situation and may feel like, well, no one can relate to me because they're all millionaires already, or whatever goal people are trying to reach, right? So that's the premise of this channel. So welcome again, or welcome back to Authentically Yours, Patricia. So when we last left off, we were talking about, getting help, right? Because it's not easy to navigate this thing called life. It's super difficult, super frustrating. There's a lot of amazing things that happens and a lot of things to celebrate along the way, which, we need to do. Otherwise we'll drive ourselves crazy thinking about only the negative things. But if you're like me, which this is definitely like a downfall of mine, and it's also a good quality too, together, good and bad. I'm always looking for the next best thing. I'm always on the move, I'm always on the move of like, okay, boom, that's done. What's next? So I tend to not celebrate if something happens. So in here, navigating the backstory, trying to make ends meet right now. Like I had mentioned before, we have a mobile dog grooming business here in our small town. We live in Northern California in the mountains. Beautiful, beautiful life here, except, it's a tourist area. So without tourists, we don't get money, and weather can dictate whether tourists come. So because of that, we got slammed, right? Prior to that, I was working in a corporate America situation and, making pretty decent money. I'll be transparent. I was making six figures, and I know that's a lot of, that's an income, I don't know if it's called status or whatever you call it. I don't know, that a lot of, I would just say minorities maybe, or African Americans strive for, because I don't know about now, but I know in the previous years it wasn't as common, to get that mark for a salary for a lot of different reasons. This channel's not for that kind of politics. So anyway, all that to say, I was working a job in tech, in real estate tech, because I have a background for the last few years in real estate, making the six figures. I ended up quitting that job last August because I was literally getting ill because of the stress, the demand, right? I honestly probably overstayed. I should have probably quit a long time ago, but I didn't. So we made the decision for me, my husband and I, when I say we, my husband and I made the decision for me to quit last August, and then that just brought us to a place where it was all too familiar for us. I can't say up until that point, I didn't know any financial struggle. Up until that point, I didn't know anything about struggling with bills. Yes, we had many struggles, which I'll talk about throughout the lifetime of this channel. But leaving that job last August, and then we got slammed in September when everything started slowing down in our town as far as tourists coming. And then winter comes in. We had the most brutal winter in 55 years. The longtime locals said they have not seen a winter like this in 55 years. That slammed us. We were, let's say, to support our life here, to get all bills paid and everything, we need about $4,500 a month. And we weren't even making $2,000 a month, maybe less. So that's just to give you a benchmark of how much of a struggle it has been. But prior to that, when everything was booming with the business last summer, we were making $10,000 a month or more, a little bit under, and everything just seemed hunky-dory. But like I've mentioned in my past videos, there wasn't any financial discipline because of my upbringing. You can visit my past videos and get to know me a little bit better to understand, well, what the heck happened? What's your problem? Like, if you were making this amount of money, then why couldn't you manage it? You could watch the previous videos to get a better understanding of where I'm coming from and why that happened. So all that to say, so now we're here coming into this summer. I don't have the corporate job anymore. I don't want a corporate job. But what I did do, in addition to our mobile dog grooming business, is start another business. And I've been listening to all the gurus on YouTube, binge watching their podcasts and listening to their advice. And I was like, okay, like they've all said, what skills do I possess that I can start making money like now, like 877 cash now, if you know that commercial, right? My husband and I and one of my best friends brainstorming, okay, what are my skills? What are my skills? What are my skills that I could make money now? And I was racking my brain. And then I was like, you know what? When you look at all of my jobs, you'll look at the theme rather, is organization, detail-oriented, administration. So I was like, okay, virtual assistant. But then after listening to some more gurus, like, okay, niche it down. And I was like, niche it down, what should I do? And not knowing. And then I was going back to my resume, been in real estate for over 10 years or more. And I love real estate, right? One of my passions and my dreams is to become a real estate investor, working my way towards that. So niched it down to becoming a real estate virtual assistant. If that resonates with you, hey, go for it, start your own business too. But wanted to bring that up to say, that's where we are with updates right now. So we're moving along, moving forward, not in the best place financially, but working with the daily money manager, being more strategic with money. I was able to save $2,100 to go to an emergency expense that we have for our mobile grooming business, which before I could never foresee myself coming up with $2,100 in a week to 2 weeks. But we did it. We did it with financial discipline. Yo, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I'm excited because I've never been able to do that before. The old Patricia would have ate out, would have spent on this thing and that thing and this thing, and would have just said, oh, well, I can't afford it. I can't afford this expense, And that's how I was doing life up until this point, up until this very day. That's how I've been doing life and not thinking. But now that I have this daily money manager holding me accountable in my corner, a partner, if you will, I was able to put aside $2,100 in almost a week to 2 weeks. One, because business is picking up. I have to mention that business is picking up for the summer. So I'm excited. I'm celebrating. Hey, if you're on here with me in this journey, navigating your backstory, put your celebrations in the comments, please. What have you done to progress? Because that's what this is about. We're building a community. We're growing together. We're learning together. Again, we're gonna fall. Right? Things are going to happen, but we're going to get back up, right? So like my theme, I put a vision board down for myself only for the quarter, not for the year. I'm doing quarterly vision board right now, quarterly. And I'm already seeing some things transpire. And one of the things was that emergency expense for the business. Another thing was getting help in our marriage. We met with a couple the other night and had some solid marriage counseling, which I'm really excited about. Is my marriage the best after that counseling? No. But we're on our way. That's the whole point, right? We're on our way, like up, right? So a theme, phrase, statement, if you will, is reset, realign, restart. I have that little image on my vision board. I got that picture from Pinterest, and I put it, and that's what we're working on. Whoever's with me on this journey, we are resetting, realigning, and restarting. And I'm resetting how I'm managing finances. And a light bulb went off for me last night. I was listening to another YouTuber that I'm so in love with. And, we set our minds and we say, well, I wouldn't even say we set our minds. Let me backtrack. We make the statement that we're going to make this change about, our health, if we're going to exercise, our finances, our marriage, whatever we're trying to do. But what I noticed is I've been making these statements for many years, whether January 1st I'm saying it or whenever I'm saying it. But what I noticed last night was kind of a light bulb for me. I was like, but my habits haven't changed at all. You know, we talk about mindset needing to change before behaviors change, but habits need to change too. So I'm all like, yo, you know, I'm going to work out. I'm going to this, that, but I'm not getting up early enough to work out. So by the time I get out of my bed, I'm already like, my task, I need to get them done. My task. But then so I forsake the workout part or the prayer part. I'm going to pray before I get out of the bed, whatever I'm trying to do. So I want to just leave us with this too. Like, we can declare it, which is great because that's a great first step, but the habit needs to change, right? So we're resetting, realigning, restarting, and we get to do that every day. We don't have to wait for January 1st. You know what? We get to do it every hour, every minute, right? We don't need permission from somebody or from the calendar to tell us when we can do something. All right, guys, that's it for today. I have more to tell you, but we're going to talk in the next one. Love you so much. Leave your comments down below. What are you doing to reset, realign, restart? You know, let me know. We're a community. We're building each other up. Love you. Authentically yours, Patricia. Mwah.